There is a place at the end of the world, wrapped in silence and buried under miles of ancient ice. It is a continent of extremes, of breathtaking beauty and utter desolation. And for as long as we have known it existed, it has been a blank space on the map, not just of geography, but of our own history. This emptiness, this sheer inaccessibility, acts like a magnet for our imagination. Nature, it seems, abhors a vacuum of information as much as it does a physical one. So we fill it with stories, with possibilities, with a whispered question: what if? What if this white desert holds more than just ice and rock? What if it guards the last remnants of a world we've forgotten? The promise of a forbidden history locked in the ice is powerful. It's a narrative you'll find echoing across countless videos and articles. They often point to the same pieces of a puzzle: an ancient map that seems too accurate, a mountain that looks too symmetrical, a theory of a cataclysmic shift that rewrites everything. Let's sit with that narrative for a moment. Let's follow the threads and see where they lead, not to simply dismiss them, but to understand the deeper longing they represent. And then, let's look at what the ice actually keeps a record of. First, the map. The 1513 Piri-Reis map is a fascinating artifact. It shows a coastline that, to some eyes, appears to be Antarctica, free of its ice. The argument is compelling on its surface. How could a 16th century cartographer depict a continent that wouldn't be officially discovered for another 300 years? But context changes everything. The mapmaker himself wrote notes on it, stating he compiled it from many older source charts. Scholars of cartography see not a precise survey of Antarctica, but a composite of. It likely stitches together the distorted coastlines of South America, legends of a great southern land, and the cartographer's own guesswork to fill the unknown. It is less a snapshot of a lost world and more a collage of everything the old world thought might be down there. The resemblance to the true, hidden coastline beneath Antarctica's ice is intriguing, but under scrutiny, superficial. Then there are the structures. The famous Antarctic Pyramid, from one specific angle, with the right play of shadow and light. It is an arresting image, a near-perfect geometric form rising from the snow. Our brains are wired for this. It's called pareidolia. We see faces in clouds and shapes in constellations. Geology has a less sensational name for it: a nunatak. It's a mountain peak forced into a sharp, pyramidal form by the relentless, millennial-scale erosion of wind and ice, carving away at all its sides equally. Fly overhead, and the illusion shatters. You see not a single engineered pyramid, but a rugged ridgeline, one of many in a violent, tectonic landscape. It is a testament to the raw, sculpting power of nature, not a blueprint from a lost architect. Finally, the cataclysm. The story often demands a dramatic end, a sudden pole shift, a crustal displacement that plunged a temperate Antarctica into icy oblivion overnight, freezing mammoths in mid-meal and toppling crystal spires. Here, the hard record of the planet itself speaks unequivocally. The ice has a memory. We have drilled down and read it, layer by layer, like the rings of a tree. Antarctica's story is not one of a sudden freeze, but of a long, patient winter. It began over 34 million years ago, as continental drift isolated it at the pole, and global climate cooled. The ice sheets accumulated slowly, inexorably, over epochs. There is no signature of a global tectonic catastrophe in that ice, or in the sediment cores from the ocean floor. The truth is grander in its scale, a slow-motion epic of a changing planet. So why, when faced with this grand, slow truth, does the faster, more dramatic myth persist? Perhaps because it speaks to a human need. Our recorded history feels recent, fragile. The idea of a great, forgotten chapter, a mother culture whose ruins lie just beyond reach, offers a romantic explanation for the mysteries our archaeology hasn't yet solved. A forbidden continent is the perfect vault for such a secret. But in focusing on a civilization that almost certainly isn't there, we risk blinding ourselves to the profound civilization of knowledge that is. The real forbidden continent isn't hiding pyramids. It's hiding answers to questions that define our future. That ice core the scientist is holding? It contains bubbles of Earth's atmosphere from 800,000 years ago. It tells us precisely how the climate has changed before and how it is changing now. The brutal dry valleys, the driest places on Earth, teach us how life might cling to existence on Mars. The entire continent is a stabilizer for our global weather and a canary in the coal mine for a warming world. The international treaties that restrict access, often cited as proof of a cover-up, exist for one primary reason: to protect this fragile, priceless laboratory for peaceful science. It is not a secrecy pact. It is a preservation pact. So the next time you hear the whisper of a lost Atlantis beneath the ice, listen to it. Recognize it for what it is: a modern myth, a story we tell about our own desire for a deeper, more mysterious past. It is a compelling shadow cast by our imagination. But then, turn your eyes to the light. Look at the continent itself. Its true history is not one of fallen spires, but of rising mountains and creeping glaciers. Its forbidden knowledge isn't about us. It's about the Earth, a meticulous, multi-million-year diary of our planet's life, written in frozen water and ancient stone. That story is still being decoded. It is complex, humbling, and critical for every person living on this interconnected planet. And the most important thing about it, it is not forbidden. It is waiting. All we have to do is listen to what the ice is actually saying.